Hello and welcome to day 3 of our psychic cleanse. I hope you're doing okay on the journey and enjoying the content and especially the assimilation of the hero's journey in the major arcana of the tarot and how that represents you. This is all about you and your journey. We are all on the hero's journey in various stages of it, right? So, but together collectively during this cleanse, because we're doing the same thing. We're all on the same page. We're on the same day. We're in the same cycle of the psychic cleanse. Now, wherever you are in your life outside of the psychic cleanses could be entirely different, right? You could be, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. So for today, we are diving into one of my favorite cards of the entire tarot deck, and that is the High Priestess. So let's go ahead and pull up our slides and begin today's cleanse. So today is all about leveraging your intuition. And a little bit about your intuition before I get to the next slide is that this is probably your one of your greatest assets as a human being is your intuition. Um, your intuition is that still small voice inside of you that knows. It just knows. It knows everything. The thing is that we live in a noisy world and sometimes it's really hard to hear it. It's hard to access that voice that is ours or that is the voice that is connected to the divine intelligence or the universe. I believe we speak directly to the intelligence of the universe that because we're a part and parcel of that. And like I talked about the birds yesterday, not having an app, and all the tools that we have to figure out where to go to survive during the winter, they just know. We have that same exact knowing, and so that is our intuition. I believe our intuition is seated in our heart space and our hearts, and it is also the seat of the soul. It is the wisest part of us, and when we access it, we have the most clarity possible. It it is so amazingly accurate and on point. There is no confusion when it comes to intuition. Where the confusion comes in is when we start to analyze and we take the maybe the question at hand or the intuitive impulse that we've already received about a person, a place, or a thing, and then we automatically run it up the ladder to our brain, to our analytical brain, and we start to analyze it and we start to self doubt and we start to question if that intuitive hit was actually correct, or maybe I'm just feeling certain things, or maybe I am just emotional, or maybe I am just hormonal. Fill in the blank of how many times we have all known something to be absolute truth for us, and then we didn't follow through with it, or we doubted it, and then we sought other people's opinions. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with seeking other people's opinions, but I think we need to choose our our counsel wisely. We need to choose our counsel to know that those are the people in our lives that will tell us the truth, that will help us see clearly, that will not just tell us what we need to hear or want to hear. They will actually help you see yourself in the picture and not make it about them, but the real helpers will help you see your own truth in your own light and re-access and get back into your own intuition, into your own knowing, into your own heart, into your own higher self, right? So that's where, everybody's truth is different. And so that's why intuition is so important for us to access, so that we access our truth, our capital T truth. And my capital T truth will be different than yours. And so the information that is out there is pretty much one size fits all. And that's not how we're wired. There is no one size fits all answer to anything. And so we have to be wise enough, we have to be curious enough, we have to be open enough to access and to take time to listen to our higher selves, listen to the voice within, right? So the intuition is just an amazing asset. And it's a thing that I pretty much rule my life on. If I am taking a job, if I'm dealing with people, if I'm doing some sort of transaction, I intuitively size people up all day long. I am an INFJ. J stands for judgment, right? And so I am intuitively judging people up all day long. They don't know it, but I know it. And so that's how I keep myself safe. That's how I keep myself centered. That's how I keep myself in my lane of my desires and what works for me. And being able to know immediately what is not for me and what is not right for me and who is not right for me and the situations of the jobs or the outside circumstances that are just not correct or aligned with my vision for my life. So the more we leverage our intuitions, the easier it gets to live life gracefully, to really navigate through the tough questions, to be able to just access those answers and tap in to our truth. So here she is, here's the high priestess. And so on day 3 in the hero's journey, you day 1 you took the leap, you dived into the unknown, into this process. Day 2 was the gosh, I already forgot. And I know the tarot like clockwork. It was the magician. Yeah. So the magician is that part of us, getting to know the hero's journey is maybe more about this hero taking this journey and bumping into these people who teach him these things. Same kind of concept of what's happening now. But I am pulling these aspects and these major arcanas as you. These are you. These are aspects of yourself. And so yesterday you met your inner magician. That is the mastering the mind. And then, so the magician is the most definitely the guardian of the mind. And then moving into the more feminine side of yourself, now we access the high priestess. And the high priestess is the guardian of the subconscious mind. She is the guardian of the truth. On her lap, she holds the Torah. So she knows things. She knows everything. And she's quiet. She doesn't need to profess or to talk. She has a gentle feminine quality. So this is divine feminine as well. She has access to all of the information. There is nothing blocking her crown chakra. She is fully aware and fully connected. And so this is the part of you that knows. So on my website, and I'll put a link later in the chat, on my website, charlenemurphy.com, I have a few quizzes for people to take. One of the quizzes is knowing your psychic gifts. And everybody accesses information differently through their intuitive faculties, right? So the information most definitely comes through the heart, but how we receive it can be first through our eyes, that we are visual and we see it, or maybe we hear something and then it sparks something, or maybe we just sense it in our gut. We have that feeling that, oh, this is off. A lot of people experience that when their gut is off. So now we need to learn how to feel when it's on. Most of us can feel the intuitive dangers that come along, right? And then a lot of people access intuitive information through their crown chakra in their third eye. They just know. Or they can see things in their dreams, or they can get an imagining, a visualization of something, a word, a phrase, a person's face, you know. But I'm seeing more and more people these days just having it's almost like the shield, the veil is getting thinner, and people are just having these knowings. We call that claircognizance. It's just, I don't know how I know, I just know. I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, I didn't feel anything, I just know. How many of you can relate to that? How many of you have experienced that? I guarantee 99% of you have. And it's how we're wired. So just to back up, in my practice, I'm completely an intuitive empath. I practice at this all the time. So I'm a little bit more seasoned, practiced at accessing that information, at getting myself into the quiet place so I can hear myself, so I can hear the higher vibration. I can connect with source energy quickly, and I can just see and know things very quickly. I'm not any more special than anybody else. We all have the same ability. I just happen to practice it because I love this stuff. So some of you might be really good at playing tennis because you practice and you've gotten really good at playing tennis, right? And so I've gotten really good at being intuitive and leveraging my intuition to gather information for myself and for my clients. I love living in this world. And so this is the stuff that I teach in all of my courses, in all of my coaching, and even in my intuitive readings. I always teach people how to access this information themselves, and then help them if they're still unclear, right? So this ability, this intuitive psychic ability, is available to everyone. So when you hear people say that I'm a third generation, blah, 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 blah. Well, we're all third generation intuitives, right? Whatever. It is our, it is as natural to us as our digestive system is. It's as natural to us as our cardiovascular system is. It's just that we're not taught that, and then we don't practice it because it is kind of a hushed uh, part of us, which I find being completely ridiculous, because it is not only um, an amazing tool to have to know the questions, but it's also an amazing tool to keep us safe. It's a basic safety root chakra mechanism so that we can avoid danger, right? So that we can follow our gut, we can follow those intuitive impulses about, ooh, stay away from that person, or go in that direction. Don't take that road. Don't take that flight. Oh, something doesn't feel right. I don't think I'm going to do that. How many times have you avoided a certain situation that could have ended up tragic or dangerous or sad or fill in the blank, when you followed your intuition and did the opposite, or just said no to that one thing, right? So this isn't hooey. This isn't out there. This is our human condition. And it is expressed in the tarot by the high priestess. So at the beginning of the journey, of the hero's journey, the person who created this was really wise enough to say, hey, while you're on your journey, you have all the tools that you need to do all the things, to slay the dragons, to overcome your shadow selves, to fight your battles, because it does get bumpy, right? But the kindness of the tarot is to tell us at the beginning of the hero's journey that we're already equipped. And here we go, right? So here we are, leveraging our intuition and understanding that it's always here. Let me tell you a real quick and easy way for you to leverage your intuition, or at least to tap into it first. I learned this from one of my original teachers, Sonia Choquette. It's a very simple heart test. So you just basically put your hands on your heart and you say, if my higher self knew, or if my heart knew, or if my soul knew the answer to this, feel it, use whatever word you like. I like to say, if my higher self knew about the truth about this situation, it would tell me. And then I just listen. And it's like, oh, okay. And then it's that simple. It might at first feel like you might be making stuff up, but eventually, when you practice this enough, you will trust it. And this is the information that I trust 100% more than anything else. In fact, I don't trust anything else. I don't trust the media. I don't, I, there's, I think that everything out there is more opinion, and that's fine. We all have them. We all have perspectives and opinions. Groovy, far out, entertaining. But when I need real solid, um, real solid help or clarity or guidance, I'm in here. I'm all in here. I shut that stuff out. I will go here. I might Google something here and there, like a physical ailment. But then, if once I understand maybe a little bit more about the physical ailment according to Google, then I'll take it inside here and say, well, what do I need to know about that? How can I help myself? What does my body need? And I will say, body, what do you need? And I will listen. And if even if I don't get an answer right away, I know that 100% of the time, the answers will come. That's part of the intuitive process. So we ask, and then we're washing dishes or doing laundry or mowing the grass or driving down the road. And then all of a sudden, boom, we get a download. We hear it, or we see it on a billboard, or we see it on the back of a bus. It's like, oh, there's my sign. That was for me. There's my answer. And you know that that's an intuitive answer, uh, sponsored by your spirit guide, sponsored by your higher self. They always come. And then you know it's yours because it hits you in a certain way. It hits you in this intuitive way, not like I wonder what that billboard means. Does that mean anything for me? And we're reaching, we're trying to make it happen, connect the dots. But when the intuitive hits happens, it's fast and it's like, oh, that's mine. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. I know that you all have experienced this time and time again because it is our natural way of being. And a lot of people just get really surprised by it, like, oh my God. But it is your normal. It is your normal. And I want you today to really look at that and embrace it and say, yes, my normal is magic. That's pretty cool. Like, I can know anything, I can ask anything, I can get the clarity, that the answers, the guidance that I am wanting now. And this is pretty amazing. So today, really, I want you to look at this and embrace this as the practical magic that it is. It is not this far-fetched, out there kind of stuff. It's right here. It always has been. And so today we get to step into that and really acknowledge our high priestess. And the high priestess is in everybody, male, female. We all have multiple, or at least dual, multiple, who knows, sides of our selves. So this isn't exclusively for women. This is across the board. Speaking of women, when I feel like I sometimes have to make an argument for people to remember and realize how normal and everyday intuition really is. How many of you have experienced or have said or have agreed to a mother's intuition? We all have. We accept that one. It's like, oh yeah, moms know. Mom's intuition, yeah. And then but we blow it off like it's something meh, it's just mom's intuition. Well, mom's got eyes on the back of her head. Yes, she does, but not just for her children. We all have eyes on the back of our head, and one big third one right there where we can see or at least access everything that we want to see. We can ask for that clarity and guidance. Some people choose not to, and that's fine. Hey, whatever. But if we wanted to, we could. And if clearly, I always want to. And so we just polish off that third eye and we acknowledge our mother's intuition, but we extend it way beyond motherhood. We extend it to our everyday life. We extend it to, yeah, I can read energy. I see, I feel, I know. There's tells. People are always telling on themselves. Are you picking up what they're putting down? Or are you just listening to their lip service and believing what they say? I have a saying that says, words can be untrue, but energy never lies. And so it's our intuitions that are picking up on the energetic communication, the real communication. Energy never lies, right? And so instead of focusing, you can look at, you can, when I'm talking to somebody, especially as a new person, I am looking at their mouths or maybe even their eyes so that I don't freak them out while I'm like sizing them up and down intuitively, right? So I'm kind of like gazed out and I'm being very observant, and then I'm just allowing myself to feel. Sometimes I'm not hearing their words, but I'm acting like I'm listening to them. I know that sounds awful because I want to get their pulse first. I mean, you can do both simultaneously, but to start out, I would maybe tune in and listen to what they're saying for a minute or two, but then take the rest of your observation energy and put it into, how is this person making me feel? What are they really saying? What's the agenda here? You know, and so then you become just this uh, inquisitive person with a higher level of awareness. And that really helps you stay safe. It helps you stay in your lane, and it helps you avoid situations that are not for you, you know, for one reason or the other. So let's take a look at the high priestess. Oh, there's so much to unpack with this card. This isn't the course for that. I do have another course coming later where we actually go into the tarot specifically and learn the tarot. But for the sake of the psychic cleanse, we're going to lightly touch on the major arcana. But if you want to explore the tarot in depth with me, just, you know, sign up for my newsletter so you can be kept abreast as to when that course will be released and all of that. But that's a really fun one too. Okay, so back to the high priestess. So here's the highlights. So guardian of the subconscious mind. So here you are. The magician is the conscious mind. It's like, oh yes, I'm directing my thoughts so I can create things. And then the subconscious mind, here's the crap that's really running the show. Let me tap into that too and help, you know, clean that part up. And in the meantime, though, I'm going to open my heart. I'm going to allow the information to come through. So we have intuition. The high priestess part of yourself knows spiritual laws. And so the more you intellectually know the spiritual laws, the more you intuitively know these spiritual laws as well. When you hear the like the knowledge base of the spiritual laws, the textbook version, when you hear the truth, you go, that makes total sense. Of course, right? It's just that we never put words to it before. And so you didn't understand or maybe know about the concept. You weren't aware of it. But when you hear the truth, you know the truth. And when you study spiritual laws, and you will learn the spiritual laws hanging out with me, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, all the other stuff just kind of falls to the wayside. You start to understand spiritual law and what's really going on and governing the universe, and then you learn to leverage it. You understand the secrets of the universe. You will become more and more aware of the secrets of the universe and hold them close to your heart, because it's pretty amazing how blessed we really are in this benevolent universe. It's pretty crazy benevolent, really. Like everything is just set up for us. It's so cool. The problems come from the individuals who don't know that, who don't remember that part of themselves, and they're stuck maybe in the red zone of survival and greed and all of that. But if we took those people out, and we took everybody off the planet, we would see that the universe is very benevolent. and it provides to us everything we need. I mean, look at nature. Look at nature. That's all you need to see. That's all you need to know. What is good for nature is good for us. It's the same. We are blessed when we are given much. So then we can access our divine intelligence for the answers. We rely on our inner wisdom for the answers. We have our psychic insights that come in various ways. Take that quiz on my website to find out what your strongest clair is. I mentioned claircognizant, and then there's clairsentience, there's clairvoyant. So take the quiz and see where you land on that, and then you can practice um, rituals and different activities to help you strengthen your psychic insights and how you receive. I mentioned and I touched on the divine feminine. That is who we are. And as we connect with our high priestess self, we do, and our magician, we become great collaborators and great co-creators with the universe. We get out of a place of competition or lack, and we start to see things very differently. We start to see that there's enough for everybody, and that no matter what it is that you're doing or what it is that you want, there is enough for everybody. And there's only one you, and there's only one voice of you. There's only one. You are literally a snowflake. I love that term. But it's true. We are individual people. And so say if there is an intuitive empath teaching the same thing that I'm teaching, I know that that person does not have my voice. They do not have my intuitive impulses. They do not have the same perspectives or the experiences that I have, that I can teach in a certain way that will attract a certain audience. And so that person can teach their way, and that they attract their certain audience. There's enough for all of us. And so when we really tap into our gifts and our high priestess, we want to share all of that with other people, because we do have a knowing. We do know the secrets. We know the universal laws. And then we want to shout them from the rooftops, because we see humanity making it so complicated for themselves. And we want to say, simplify, simplify. All the answers are right here, guys. Tap in, tune in. You can do this. And then life just gets to be so much more fun and so much more graceful. Not to say that life isn't going to happen to us, but when we tap into this more so, even when life comes to us, we'll still have the better path, the right path, the highest way, the quickest way, right? And so that's why this is so important. Knowing that we are tapped into, we are the high priestess. That is an aspect of us. Doesn't mean we're bulletproof. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when the big stuff does happen, even the little stuff, even where did I put my keys? Ask, and then you'll lead. 9 times out of 10, when I misplace something, I'll say where, and then before I even ask the rest of the sentence or request for my spirit guides to show me or my higher self to show me, my hand is already on them, right? It's that good. It's that good. And then the same thing with the big stuff, the big crazy things, knowing that there's some sort of there's something here for us in the pain and all the big things. And so when we tap into our hearts, we can say, what's going on here? What do I need to know? What am I missing? Am I missing something? What? Show me. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken. I don't know what to do. And our higher self, our benevolent universe, our spirit guides will usher in the right people, the right circumstances, the right money, the right whatever it is that we need. How many of you can relate to that? How many times have you just been kind of saved at the last minute, right? And it just feels like, oh, or when you get to the end of it, the end of a painful divorce, for example, and then you can look back and then you can see all the lessons that were there for you. It's really hard to see them when you're in the thick of it. So one of my tools is that when those things, those big life things do happen to us, I always say that they're happening for us. They're happening, it's painful, but I know that it's here for some reason and it's painful right now, but I do know that it will end. And then okay, I can't wait for it to end. But we have to go through the process, obviously, and then that's where we learn the lessons. And then with perspective and with time, we can look back and then we can see those lessons and hopefully learn from them and then do better moving forward. There, I see everything as a gift, and I guess it's our option, to see life how we want to see it. All right. So, any questions about your intuition or any questions about the high priestess in the tarot that anybody would like to ask? If not, we're going to go ahead and move on to today's activities or exercises to develop and really tap into your intuition and your inner higher priestess. All right. So let's start with our journal prompt. So hopefully you guys have downloaded your journal workbook that I created for you. I will link, it is linked in the show notes, so you can go ahead and download that and record your findings and keep track of your days. So in this journal prompt, what I would like for you to do is think back to a specific moment in your life when you felt that inner tug of war between what you knew in your heart to be true and the external forces pulling you in a different direction. I have quite a few. Maybe it was a decision about a job, guilty, or a relationship, guilty, or even something as simple as what to have for dinner, guilty. And whatever it was, take some time to really explore the circumstances around that decision and how you ultimately chose to proceed. What did you end up doing? Did you go with your intuitive impulse? Well, in this circumstance, it's about going against it, not listening to it, hushing it down, quieting it, stepping on it, saying, "No, I'm too tired for that. I'm going to take the quicker, easier route," or whatever reasons we do what we do, right? And so, in this journal process, here's where the magic happens. Reflect on the results that occurred as a result of going against your intuition. Did things turn out the way you hoped, or did you find yourself facing unexpected challenges? So, what you thought maybe was going to be a shortcut or an easier thing to do actually turned into a long cut and a harder thing to do most of the time. So, how did it feel to go against your inner knowing, and what did you learn from the entire experience? So, maybe for this one, you can just plant that seed for now and let that germinate and let that come up for you and different scenarios today, and then just run to your journal and write down little circumstances as you remember them, and then you can flesh it out later, either tonight or in the morning, answering the rest of the questions there, because there's a lot to unpack with this one. And you'll see as we're going along, the journal prompts will get a little more intense as we continue, because I really want you to get the most out of this journey. Alrighty. So now let's go to our creative meditation. So for this creative meditation, it's an intuition activation. So I want you to really tap into your intuition. And it could be just as easy as placing your hand on your heart and going, "Hello, intuition." But you may need a little bit longer of a process if you're not used to that, right? So here we go. Step one, we're going to find a quiet space. We're going to sit comfortably and close your eyes. You're going to take deep breaths to relax. Get yourself there, and then we're going to start to allow our thoughts to be released or quieted. And then we're going to focus on our heart center. You can even place your hand on your heart and imagine a warm, glowing light filling you, your whole body, your whole essence, just with love, allowing your heart to do what it does. It heals, it loves, it's the highest frequency, right? Now set the intention to connect with your intuition, asking for guidance. So for me, my heart is my intuition. My intuition lives in my heart. That's how I operate. So wherever you see your intuition residing, speak to it, you know? Is it in your head? Is it in your mind space? Is it in your crown chakra? Could be. Is it in your heart? For me, it's in my heart. Is it in your gut? Could be in your gut, right? So connect where you feel your intuition resides the most. So we set the intention, knowing that we will receive guidance. And now I want you to visualize a beam of light extending from your heart to the universe, seeking wisdom, or your crown chakra, or your whole body. Your whole body can just be beaming this light energy that is connecting to divine intelligence, to source. And remember, yesterday I said we're never disconnected, we're always in it. Just like a fish that is in water, not knowing it's wet, that's us. We are these humans in this divine intelligence, not realizing how close it is to us, not realizing that we're actually swimming in it. And so when we can activate our awareness of that, that's when our magic happens. That's when our intuition is activated. It's just a simple remembering. It's like, yeah, there I am. There you are. Here we are. Right? So trust your intuition and remain open for signs, insights, and nudges all throughout the day. So, right now, even if you have a question, if you would like some guidance on something, ask yourself, what do I need to know about? Fill in the blank. What's going on with my job? Should I stay? Should I go? What's going on with my relationship? How can I heal this situation? Whatever you want guidance with today, ask now. And then during the entire day, just do your thing. I want to say, don't look for signs, but I want you to be open and receptive to the signs, to the nuances, to the hair pulls, to the, oh, that's a good idea, to the ahas, to all the things that come your way, to the conversation you overhear in the grocery store where somebody mentions something and you're like, what? Oh, that's the answer. Because your answers come in so many different ways. The universe is kind. And if you miss one answer, it will give you another one. So don't worry about it. Don't try hard, but stay open and receptive. Another quiz that I have on my website at charlenemurphy.com is about receptivity and how receptive are you. It's an important deal. You need to know how receptive you are, and you need to maybe improve your receptivity so that you are open and available to the answers, to the signs, to the knowings, to the truths that are always, always coming at you and trying to get in, right? So maybe take that quiz as well. And so today, you're just going to be open and receptive. Allow your intuition to do her job. It's not hard, it's passive, in fact. Just go about your day. There's no try, there's just do. Right, Yoda? Right, Mel? Right. So just allow, just allow. All right. So let's get back into this present moment. You have your exercises for today. You're good to go, I do believe. Here's your daily affirmation. And you can write on your journal your own, or you can use mine. I trust the wisdom of my intuition to guide me towards my highest good. Always. Your intuition is only geared towards your highest good, your well being. It will never steer you wrong, ever. Your intellect might, your ego might, other people might, but your intuition will always and only guide you towards your highest good. And sometimes, we have the choice. It's like, well, I don't know if I want my highest good right now. I think I'll do the other thing. And that's your option as a human. Like I said, we're the only animals or creatures on the planet who can make that choice. It's not a choice that I recommend, but until you're ready to tap into your highest good, you always have that option, right? But I trust the wisdom of my intuition to guide me towards my highest good. I accept my highest good. I want my highest good. I love my highest good. Show me my highest good. Yes, 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 and more, please, right? Okay, and today we're going to close on this quote from another one of my favorites, Mr. Albert Einstein himself, who was immensely intuitive. He praised intuition. He loved intuition. Of course, the only thing that they really talk about with him more so in the mainstream is his scientific discoveries. But his scientific discoveries came through his intuitive knowing, and he's the first guy to say that. So let's listen to Albert more. He says, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. So, who do we want to rely on? The servant or the gift? I say, let's take the gift. The rational mind is a faithful servant. It will always do what you are comfortable with. It'll put you right back into your comfort zone. It'll tell you what you want to hear. It'll give you the same stuff. But the intuitive mind is a sacred gift. It is the truth. It's the truth wrapped up in a bow. So, I guess the choice is yours. Which do you prefer? The intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. I think the answer for me really lies in a combination of the two, right? I'm always going to, I love the mind. I love the conscious mind. I love the magician. And I also love the subconscious mind and the intuitive mind. And we have both and we are both, right? I have a tendency to leverage the intuitive mind more so. So I'd say when I'm aware of these things, I'm 80-20, maybe 70-30, but I'm top heavy on the intuitive part, right? And I encourage you to access and leverage yours as well. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap up today's live stream and have fun really tapping into and leveraging your mighty intuition and saying hello to your inner high priestess. Have fun with this. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer them. You can email me at charlene@charlenemurphy.com or wherever you are watching and listening to this now, if there's a chat. So I'm always happy to guide and to help you understand these concepts more if you want to. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you back here tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be diving into the Empress, I believe. Yes. All right. Until then, peace and blessings. Take good care. Bye for now.